Makoto is a character that I feel like you really have to go out of your way to hate. And honestly, it's super hard for me to put into words why I exactly like the character without just picking up a piece of paper and saying off like bullet points like, oh, I like this character for this reason, or I like this character for that reason, but it's too late now, I'm already gonna do it. So, Makoto Nanaya. A friendly, kind, bubbly, just a squirrel girl. I love Makoto, honestly. Like, this is not even an I like video, it's like I love video. I love Makoto. She's a good time and a great character. Like, it's just that extra edge to the character that just is so good, you know? Makoto is literally this squirrely goofball that can casually bust out references to various anime and manga like Hokuto no Ken, Naruto, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and even Western media like the damn Tick, the goddamn 1994 cartoon Tick, and Pee-wee's Playhouse in the dub. Which is something I didn't even need to bring up, but I felt like I needed to because, I mean, come on, if I didn't bring up the anime references and the Western media references about Makoto, what would be the point of making this video? The overall air about Makoto is very endearing, and I think this is no wonder why she is very beloved among the BlazBlue fan base. Or at least the fans I've met, because I don't get a chance to talk to any BlazBlue fans because no one wants anything to do with me. But anyway, in a world where most of the BlazBlue characters have their own shit going on, where the world is much bigger than their minor problems, all Makoto wants to do is chill with her best friends and just live her life with them. It's just as simple as that. And to even get to that point, Makoto had to go a few hardships, you know. In her past, as a child, Makoto was quite poor and had to grow up in a large family in the lower levels of Shinatsu, the 11th hierarchical city. Now, obviously, Makoto is a beastkin, or in this case, a demi-human, quote-unquote, as Makoto looks more human than her beastkin counterparts like someone like Jubei. Demi-human beastkin were actually created during the Dark War as quote-unquote weapons to fight back the Black Beast, and Makoto being a descendant of those warring beastkin wasn't seen too favorably by other people. Beastkin are largely hated, and mostly, it's not exactly demi-human beastkin, I think just any kind of beastkin, but I would say mostly demi-human in this context regarding Makoto, because they're largely hated. They face discrimination by people for not just being like regular people and tools of war at that. Even with the advantages that these people possess, like longer lifespan or being just much stronger than your average human, to hell with all that, screw you because you look different than me. So facing constant hate towards her at all sides made Makoto cold, it made her distant, and it made her develop a disgust for most of the people around her. She had to constantly go to school every day with people who just hated her, man, and just looked at her like she was this lower class subhuman. Hell, the only reason Makoto was even accepted into the military academy in the first damn place was because of her physical capabilities, and she only joined in the first place was to financially support her large family. Makoto put up with the bullying, the racist remarks, all the bullshit for her family. Now, Makoto originally didn't get along with Noelle and Tsubaki. Honestly, she didn't want anything to do with them. Hell, she wouldn't even give them her first name. She just called herself Nanaya and just went about her business. But over time, Makoto began to warm up to them after they saved her from being bullied. And, over time, Makoto even broke down in tears when Noelle just simply told her that there was nothing different between the two. Like Noelle just said, well, there's not really anything different between me and you. You're the same as us. You should be able to, be like us. And Makoto broke down in tears because it was the only time Makoto really felt compassion by another human. And granted, Noelle isn't exactly human, but hell, Tsubaki was there. Tsubaki's human representation, had to have a bunch of friends together. Tsubaki, the human, Makoto, the beastkin, and Noelle, the artificial human. Yay! Just a match made in goddamn heaven. But anyway, Makoto was able to be herself and not to hide her race from anyone. She was able to have friends that only grew larger with characters like Mai, Kajun, Kagura, Carl back then when he was just an innocent, happy little boy. And even though Jin isn't a friend to Makoto necessarily, Makoto is one of the very few people that Jin doesn't outright treat like shit, and that's actually saying something. The fact that Makoto's overall nature is infectious enough to get to Jin where he doesn't treat her like absolute shit, yeah, that really does say something. But, just overall, I really do feel for Makoto, honestly. She's not a bad person. at all. She's not a bad person at all. If anything, she's one of the better characters in BlazBlue and one of the nicer characters in the entire series. And especially, BlazBlue is like a place where nearly most of the cast are a bunch of assholes. And even the characters that don't seem like assholes have their moments. So the fact that, Makoto got, is this nice character who tries her hardest to help her friends and just to be an overall nice person. Yeah, I feel for her, man. Honestly, she tries her damnedest to fix the situation when shit goes off. And even if she doesn't succeed, at least she tried. Now, it's still heavily implied that even though Noelle and Tsubaki are her closest friends, and, they showed her the better side of humanity, that Makoto still harbors hatred within her soul towards humans, and still definitely doesn't like being seen as a lower class subhuman. It's not something you can easily get over, that's why, I feel like stuff like this is not easy to get over, especially when Makoto had to go through it most of her life up to being a teenager. I can't blame her for still being mad towards humans and shit like that, because it's just shit you just can't get over, man. It's rooted too deep in her soul, I'll get into her soul in a minute. But anyway, after all that, Makoto made her way into working for the Inner-Well's intelligence department, and despite her scatterbrained moments, Makoto is very smart, but she's more streetwise than book smart, and I kind of like that, She's not a character that has they're up their own ass. It's like someone like Hakumen, Kokonoe, Rachel, Relius. They have their own, Terami, they have their heads up their own asses because of how smart they are, They're smart, and they're not afraid to let you know they are, because they will just constantly spout out bullshit that they expect the audience to keep up with. Makoto, she's just out and about street smart. She knows the shit that happens out in the streets, and she doesn't need to be holding a book and spouting out dumbass terminology to make you know something. Makoto probably just, she's like one of the best representations. I remember this moment in one of the Teach Me Miss Lychees where she was learning the lore of the BlazBlue world, and how Makoto was being known, as Celica was being known as a chronophantasma, and Makoto's brain eventually just blew up, and she couldn't even take it anymore, and I felt that was pretty relatable to her. Makoto has a relatable self. She's trying to understand what the hell's going on. It's what the hell? The Teaching Miss Lychee fate was funny, because it's the perfect representation of the best thing I love about these BlazBlue characters. When they go off the handle and someone doesn't know what the hell's going on, they're like, what the hell are you telling me? But anyway, Makoto's actually a spy for working for Sector 7. So, Makoto isn't stupid. Okay, the fact that she has to play a spy for both the Inner-Well's intelligence department, a spy for Sector 7 in the Inner-Well's intelligence department, and the fact that she made it there in the first place shows that, yeah, she ain't stupid. You can't be a spy and dumb. That's just stupid. But anyway, now I can actually talk about Makoto's soul. And granted, this is a weird thing to say so suddenly, but keep up with me here. Now, Relius Clover, the man who sees people as nothing more than the souls within them, notes that Makoto Nanaya, as one of the most interesting souls he has ever seen, and he is totally right about that. Makoto is known to have a very strong will and soul, so strong in fact that she was able to survive a trip through the boundary. Now, keep in mind that there are very few characters who have survived the trip through the boundary, and on top of that, very few characters have come out on the other side, intact, through either sheer luck or having something like the power of order, which Makoto actually managed to manifest the power of order through her determination and will to protect her friends. The power of order itself is willpower, so the fact that Makoto had managed to gain her power of order just on the determination to protect her friends alone is pretty remarkable. I believe that gaining this is absolute willpower and seeing how strong your soul and will is to just protect others is nice. Hell, Makoto embodies the power of friendship, and I feel like she embodies it in a way that doesn't make it's cheesy, but at the same time, it's good cheese, It's not super cheesy and rolling your eyes. No, it's cheesy in a way that you could easily see why Makoto would be so desperate to protect her friends, They're technically all she has. Granted, she has characters like Mai and Kajun and whatnot, but these characters were able to make Makoto finally be able to be herself around other people and not just try to hide from that fact that she is a beastkin. And I like that. I really do like that. She developed the power of friendship in its physical form, and I love it. I also want to mention there's this moment in Central Fiction where she met Naoto Kurogane, and despite being only together for about maybe a day, Makoto literally had to sacrifice herself to protect the boy to get S off his back. And at the time, Makoto knew that she stood no chance against S. She knew she was going to quote-unquote die, or in this case, return to Seether. But, like, she went out of her way to help Naoto. You know, Naoto's this lost dude stuck in this weird world, and he has no idea what's going on. And luckily, he met Makoto, who was willing to sacrifice herself in order to help him, just to make sure he'd get away. And Naoto was surely pissed at S. He was ready to throw hands with her when he knew that Makoto was already died. Like, right when S said Makoto had lost her rights, Naoto just went into full-on pissed off mode. Like, are you freaking serious? What the hell are you telling me? Like, he was ready about to just throw straight up hands with S and shit like that. But design-wise, I can finally talk about Makoto's design. I really do like Makoto's design. I really do. It's a pretty strong design. Nah, you got most people in the fandom kind of boil down her design to, oh, my furry fan service. But I honestly believe Makoto stands out with something that is easily recognizable without the outfit being overly ridiculous and stupid. Like, Makoto toes the line of fan service, but like at the same time you can take her seriously. At least I can. Like, at least I can. Like, over time, like, Makoto just seems like, I could see her this way. Like, you can show me a silhouette of Makoto and I easily can recognize it's her, you know? Like, easily. Especially with the ears and the tail make her stand out a lot, because you don't get that many squirrel girl kind of characters. You get your cat girls, your rabbit girls, your dog girls, etc., etc., but you don't get any really squirrel girls. I mean, unless you want to count the titular squirrel girl or other obscure anime characters that exist in probably some mobile game and shit like that. Makoto pretty just stands out as like the definitive squirrel girl, at least in the current time. But I like her design. It's not stupid, you know, like, to me at least. You know, it's easily recognizable. The outfit isn't overly stupid and ridiculous. Like, I think an outfit that's overly stupid and ridiculous is someone like Mai's outfit. Like, honestly, like Mai's like reverse Makoto's outfit. It's so stupid, and I hate her outfit so much. Honestly, I hate her outfit. Like, I don't want to make a video about Mai, but holy shit, I hate her outfit. But anyway, the one last thing I want to bring up about Makoto is I love the fact that Makoto, of all people, plays the straight man when dumb shit comes up, especially when involving Tsubaki and Noelle. Like, the fact that Makoto has to play the straight man to Tsubaki and Noelle is so sad that it makes me feel even more for her. Her friends get off the handle stupid so many times that Makoto's like, looks like I gotta handle this shit again. And I love it. Honestly do love it. I love her portrayal in that gag reel where she was trying to introduce her family and try to cast everyone as her family. And she was just so done with all of it. I loved it. Like, the delivery that Cindy Robinson gave Makoto was so on point. Like, actually, just Cindy Robinson in general, I love her. I love that woman. But Cindy Robinson as Makoto is just, like, the perfect voice. Like, I feel like everybody in BlazBlue's voice fits their characters to a T. But I feel like I could see Cindy Robinson as just being Makoto. You know, like, I feel like if Makoto was played by anyone else, I would know the difference and it would throw me off so badly. Even her original Japanese voice, I don't like all that much. Cindy Robinson works perfectly as Makoto. Like, the voice was meant for her. And I feel like all these things I just said, all this shit I just brought up, is a main reason I like Makoto. Also, Alexandrite 2 is a pretty damn good song, if I say so myself. But the point is, I feel like all these points together is why I love Makoto. This isn't just a like video. This is a I love Makoto, because she is just that damn good as a character, and I'm glad to have her around.